evening. Beautiful one, actually. Yeah. What a day. It has been really a hectic day today. Looking at, Welshman and the new party. It's not a new party, but they literally just, hijacked Nelson Chamisa and the Cabal's party. And then they're calling it Triple C. It doesn't have Nelson Chamisa's face. So I think it's a Triple C two or something. I do not know. Okay, so we're looking at Welshman, Mahore, Charlton, Hwende, Mafume, Caston, Mateu. They spit on citizens because all of a sudden it's no longer about citizens, it's simply about them. You know what I mean? I also heard them talking about the liberation struggle and all manner of things. But we'll get into details because I'll tell you what I think about the entire saga. I also still be able to extract some evidence on, online here so that we can be able to, to educate each other. All right. So before we get into details, if it's your first time to come across this channel, please make sure that you subscribe and ring the bell so that every time I'm live, you're going to be notified immediately. I want to send my love and light to everyone, who has always been with me. There's quite a number of people. I've lost actually the tricks. So I'm seeing Petronella, there's Ivy. I want to tell you guys, I love you all and I bless you. Zimbabwe is an interesting country. Don't forget to like the live so that we push algorithm, inviting everyone to the conversation. This is the time that we all need to come through and say what we think about the shenanigans that are going on in this country. Shenanigans, I call them. Shenanigans. All right, yeah. I want to apologize for what happened. Apparently, we've got new connections, and then for some reason, the others were not. Okay, bless my system. Yeah. Wow. Okay, I want to say to Chamisa, I bless you. Okay, wherever you are, you don't talk to me. I don't. But I bless you. You know what I mean? I bless you, sir. But trust me, being someone who have been betrayed, trust me, I understand that very well. And I want to say to Chamisa, relax and chill. God will show up and show off. I'm a person who believes in the vengeance, the God of vengeance. When he come through to deal with almost every lawyer and deceiver, that's how he works. All right. So Ramaphosa, congratulations, sir, Mr. Ramaphosa. He has been inaugurated as the president of South Africa. The president, I want to say this, Ramaphosa is a good man. He's a man that you can relate with. I love men who are relatable. I love men who are human. Ramaphosa is one of those. You can talk to him, you can call him Cyril. What's up? Are you good? And you say, I'm good. He doesn't get angry. He doesn't send the army and the police to the streets to beat citizens. He's a lover because he's a father. You know what I'm saying? That's why the country is classy. We lack that in Zimbabwe. We lack that. But I also saw President Mafume then I was looking for the first lady, which I did not see. I'm like, where is she? Everyone was coming in there with their woman. You know what I'm saying? Women are helpers for a reason. Like when daddy is, attending these kind of meetings, the mama must be next, in your attire, right? The Zimbabwean flag. I'm going to come tomorrow and I'll be talking about Auxilia Mnangagwa because there's an article that is circulating right now, and they're talking about what's going on within the parameters of ZANU-PF and these Nemicheka, ZANU-PF, and all. That's the story of tomorrow. So we'll deal with that. Tonight we are dealing with these people. You call them sellers, don't call them that. Don't call them sellers, don't do that. That's not the right words. These are simply men who are mature, grown men who have decided to take another route. Respect them. That's how I live life. Respect. Bless. Let them be. You know what I mean? Yes. So Sunny Tatimba and others have been remanded in prison. Apparently, they'll be back again to court tomorrow. I saw quite a very disturbing scenes, and my heart is in pieces. And I want to say to ZRP, Zimbabwe Republic Police, there's something distinctive about the Zimbabwe Republic Police of Bulawayo. They're classy. Do you know that the same day where people were gathering in Harare, I'm talking about Sunny Tatimba and other people were arrested. There are also youth that were gathering in Bulawayo. But here's the thing. The police in Bulawayo just went there and dispersed them peacefully. But hey, in Harare, they have to prove that they've got all what it takes, that you've got these politicians, on speed dial. They went and begin to assault innocent citizens. What a shame. What a shame. Do you know, I've learned something in life, right? I've learned something. I've learned to be human. And this is flabbergasting me. I feel like the police we have in 2024 are not human in Zimbabwe. They don't have feelings. I saw a mama that was busy crying, was beaten up by police according to her allegations. And I'm sitting and I'm asking myself and say, guys, who doesn't have a mother, or who wouldn't come out of a mother? Because my mama is in heaven. But trust me, every mother that I see on the street is my mother. I can only imagine lifting up a button stick and beating a mother. How are you doing it? Police, Zimbabwe, the one in Harare, how are you doing it? How would you lift up a button stick and beat someone's mother? That can be your mother. Yeah, munochikisa imi. Munochikisa. Mapurisa marare munochikisa. Mukundone mapurisa ekubulawayo. Ekubulawayo, they're classy. I've never, guys, tell me if you've ever heard mapurisa ekubulawayo shirobanu. Every time you always see them, they communicate professionally. They're classy. Maybe I need to start staying in Malawi, maybe, because Harare mandi disappointed. It's a shame. It is a shame. You don't have to beat citizens. They are unarmed. They are not violent. You can just tell them, guys, please disperse now, peacefully, and you've done your job. But no, you have to prove a point by beating people. Some are alleging that these are actually not police, whoever you are. And then why do you allow people to taint your name then? If they're not police, why can't you say no? Okay. Let's move on to Miss Chigumba. Chigumba is trending. Do you know that Chigumba was working in cohorts with the thugs, alleged thugs? And she vile, and how can I not? Because Chigumba is actually she's a chairwoman for ZEC. So pretty much every tender that comes out of this space, she is either a signatory or an endorser. Allegations are, she has to be arrested. People are saying she must be arrested. Miss Priscilla Chigumba should face arrest for working in cohorts with thugs to loot the funds that belongs to the Zimbabwe state. I'm not surprised after what I saw last year. Honestly, as much as I have been following Zimbabwe, I wasn't really that close to politics until last year, the year before last year, and last year very intensely. What I saw and what's happening right now, I'm not surprised. I was actually going to be surprised if I'm not going to be seeing this war nonsense that I'm seeing today. I was not going to be surprised. I'm not surprised that we are where we are today with Mrs. Chigumba. I'm not at all. I'm a person who believes that your conscience, if when your conscience is dead, you can do anything. Anything. Do you remember you're wearing a gray suit? She came to that place wearing a gray suit, with a white shirt. She had some beads on her head and on top of her head, and with these other people that are also related to ZANU-PF, big wigs. And she sat and started just reading a paper, no explanation, nothing, and then she left. I saw her at the inauguration dressing like a peacock. Mrs. Chigumba, now she's being accused of working in cohorts with Chivayo, Mpofu, and another man. What's his name again? These boys, they're not really special to me. I wonder why people call them rich men. I'm like, no, man, stop it. These are just small boys who are trying to survive. Unfortunately, they're selling you a dummy and you're buying it. I don't buy things so easily. In fact, I don't get moved by things, actually. Let me drink water. I'm dangerously blessed with wisdom, so I don't get moved. You can come and jump all you want. I don't even care at all. I'm going to say bless you. Let's move. So yeah, wow. All the millions that have been coming out of Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, Chigumba is being robbed into the entire saga of all these, corrupt activities. It is sad to watch. Very, very sad. Now, what's interesting now, things are turning. Okay, things are turning. Chivayo was at the forefront. He's, of this saga. But all of a sudden, I'm hearing allegations that he has escaped. He's not in the UK. These are allegations. At the moment, I don't know where he is, but I know he's not in Zimbabwe. So people are saying it's in the UK. And last night, apparently, I saw an article that went on to say that, not most important. No, this is interesting. Mike was being accused of sexual assault on, on the article that I saw last night. We're waking up again now. We are seeing another allegation as well that is coming out that actually went out this afternoon, where they are being, robbed into the saga of the goat scheme. Do you guys remember the goat scheme where they said, "Do you remember Mbudzi?" First and foremost, guys, I don't know how many Magona Buzingani Wimze poems, Magona Buzingani because. This country is a movie. Okay. I think they're going to put Zebuda, so I think like but allegations are they were given a tender to supply Mbudzi for 87 million US dollars. Mbudzi is better money Zimbabwe. Because even if we are talking about the Boer gods, the Boer gods, these gods, Mbudzi are getting the hope was yet and I to one man raise on Mazis. Zahopo, no Duraka Mbudzi, no Tingom South Africa, the Boer gods. I'm talking about Mbudzi Musha, the cheaper. They were given a tender of 87 million to supply gods. Because one thing I'll tell you about Zimbabwe is that across the board, all of you, including those that will watch this video, you are coming from all corners of Zimbabwe, right? Honestly, if Mbudzi zakapiwa kumarani kwenye munodziziva, I want to say this very clearly. I come from a chieftain's family. We have never received no God. You understand? No God. We never received no God. I'm telling not one God. But andambozoona kapo goti Mbudzi squato vices kumashingo. But pakapo attenda 87 million yembudzi. Hands could supply 632,001 goats over a period of 5 years. So now the question is, how many goats did they supply thus far? Right? 87 million. Guys, dollars to supply goats. We don't have medication in hospitals. Our roads are in a mess. No jobs for the youth. Mbudzi zakatengwa 87 million. Imi, my joke será that tanga na chivayo nyaya nayo ni twists now tasiya so chivayo the main character here whom we had, even though he's accusing that the entire audio was an AI, which we know is a lie, but this guy all of a sudden is nowhere to be found. But we are seeing the other guys are now being charged. One is being accused of sexual assault. Last night was being accused. The person that he was almost going to abuse, is related to the person who is the judge. If I'm not mistaken, the judge. The story is well neat, like it's just all over the place. And I'm trying to think like the story happened in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. And all this time you were quiet. Then in 2024, you're talking about a case of a sexual assault, right? Because this people have been caught. Now, people are trying to take away the eyes on the main character, right? Don't forget that this guy's been very close to the president, Master Mnangagwa, right? And now they want to, us to focus on, the small fish who actually we didn't even get the payment from Zek. Yeah. Welcome to Zimbabwe. Welcome to a land of miracles and money, but that does not do nothing for the people. But millions, billions, trillions of rands when you convert it. But when you look at what that man does, welcome to Zimbabwe. Moving on, please. Can I tell you? I just want to say shout out to Mafume, to Hwende, to Mike Hwende, to Welshman, And these are the guys that I actually know, Caston, Mateu. I want to say shout out to y'all. Are you good? Good to see you. All right, let me just say this. Prior to elections last year, I have a friend of mine who told me that apparently Welshman was going to, they were working on having their own political party. I'm saying that was towards elections. And I even bastardized that person. And I want to say, you know who you are. I want to say, I'm sorry. You told me that. But I did not buy it. I was like, no, I'm going to have dirty politics. But the guy was right. All this that you are seeing today, it was scripted a long time ago. What's so interesting is the deception that's going down in Zimbabwe. Deception. I like to use that word. Have you ever been in love with someone who's being considered a bad boy? You know, a bad boy. And people like girls, you know what I'm talking about. Everyone can tell you this guy is bad. Or being at a man as well. People can tell you this girl, she's bad. And you're like, no, but I love her. I think she's a good person. You know, he's a good guy. No, man, I love him. You know, love is crazy. When you're in love, you're crazy. You go crazy. And all of a sudden, boom, you know, this man started showing you flames. But the time that you were in love with him and you thought everyone was crazy, you were being deceived. It's called deception. You know, deception, embedded within deception is a blinding agent. You can't see. All the people around you can see what you're being deceived, but you can't see it. Chamisa was being deceived. But here's what I'm going to say to you. I'm going to leave you a word, Mr. Chamisa. I'll leave you a word. I've been betrayed many times. I know how that feels. But trust me, at the same time, don't worry about that. Betrayal. What betrayal does is that it elevates you. Betrayal elevates you. Holy Ghost, you know what I'm talking about. Betrayal elevates you. So chill, sir. Chill. Betrayal. When this whole saga started, you remember, I thought, we don't know Shavangu. When we don't know, they were laughing. All manner of drama that they displayed that time. And we saw it played right in front of our face. You know, masquerading as innocent man. You know, and here's the thing. There have been people saying that Chamisa was given money, $5 million by ZANU-PF to lie to citizens. And I've been asking questions. I said, bring proof. Bring proof if Chamisa was given 5 million. It's easy. I'm tired of Makua. I don't buy gossip. I want proof. Bring it laid bare in front of us. We can see that, what you're trying to say is Chamisa was given money by the state to woodwink Zimbabweans. Debt politics is a pain. And I want to thank Zimbabweans, actually. I want to thank Zimbabweans for being so patient with the nonsense of politicians. I want to thank you. Because what I'm seeing currently, I'm seeing deranged human beings. Deranged. Time is moving, and these guys are literally wasting destiny. Drama after drama after drama after drama. Look, South Africans had elections. When was that? About a week or 2 weeks ago, a week and a half or so. Yeah, there are meetings and all. Today there was an inauguration. Looking posh and clean. Yeah, what you're doing is toxicity and toxicity and toxicity. And you expect to be respected. And here's the thing that I'm going to say. These are men in our society. Are you surprised why marriages are falling apart in the country? Why things are going haywire? These are the kind of men that we expected to protect us. They're failing. They failed completely. They failed women. They failed children. They failed our legacy. In fact, most of them are going to die with on the bedrock of evil. Majority of them. I'm going to read what Mr. Charlton Hwende said. So Charlton Hwende said, just finished our National Council meeting today. Important resolutions passed. It's now time to go back to the branches and rebuild our party. Key focus on structure, strategy, and culture. That's Hwende, all right? And I'm sitting on the other side. I'm like, oh, now it's your party now. It's your party. The last time I checked, you were saying citizens. Chamisa's our leader. That's what they were tweeting. Guys, Inina, I hate deception. Man, listen, I'm not a person who go hell. I'm not that kind of woman. I've seen women who can be in love with a man like, I just want to pretend like I'm in love with him, but I'm not. Huh? And go all the way, lying to a person, deceiving the person. I'm not one of a person. I'll tell you, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Bless you, I love you, and I love you. I can still respect you, you know. I don't have time to worst. These ones, they're the most dishonest people I've never met. And bear in mind, I'm not saying Chamisa is perfect. No. I'm talking about men who have the nerve. There are a series of tweets on social media today where Charlton, Hwende, Mateu, Mafume, Welshman, in fact, Welshman was a bit fair by just throwing videos there. He was throwing videos. But Charlton Hwende would say, Chamisa is my leader. Right? Openly, not hiding, openly. He's my leader. And then we thought, oh my God, so he was actually a leader. Everything was just a game. Are you surprised that Zimbabwe is in a mess today? To them, it's a game. It's to gamble with people's destiny like this. Huh? Children are dying of drug addiction as we speak. Poverty is rummaging our streets, right? Women are suffering. Women who should be sitting at home. Like, women, we need to sit at home and relax and be eating the money that men are working, you know? I've been asking myself questions. I'm like, Rumbi, if you didn't leave Zimbabwe earlier, I told you the story that I know my family is watching this. Okay, bless you, because I'm an open book. Okay, so when I left Zimbabwe, I was in love with someone who left because he was working here, right? And I told my father I want to go to school, but honestly, I was following a boyfriend. You know. I mean, it's not like me, because damn, the devil knows. It's not like me, so my character, but it's a truth. And honestly, I'm thanking God, even though that relationship never lasted, but I thank God for one thing. God was leading me, even though I thought it was just being crazy. He was directing my path. I can only imagine where my life would be today if I was in Zimbabwe. Based on what I'm seeing currently, I can never thank God enough. I thought I was following a boyfriend. I was following destiny. It was God pushing me, because what I'm seeing here, I pray and my heart bleeds for the people who have been ruined by men who have no respect of self. It's respecting yourself. Some people can say, oh no, but they've been I'm going there. I'm focusing on men who can lie and write stuff online, like on social media, hoodwinking people and citizens who have voted honestly and earnestly, and then turn their backs and begin to haunt the very some people who believed in them. That's where my problem is. I'm talking about deception. Now there's a strategy that is on place, a structure that is referring to, and I bet you guys there's nothing going on. It's a lie. Oh, everything is a lie. I don't even know who is going to be following these people. You know, I don't even know who is going to be following these people. I don't know who. But here's the thing, we're going to be listening to the presser. The presser is even worse. The presser is even worse. No, man, no. God, I even know. Tell me Mafume. Mafume moved from this humble man to become this God. When he's sitting like a king, sitting on the chair disrespectfully and all, you know. And I want you to listen to the presser. Now I want you to tell me what you think, because I'm going to tell you what I think about this whole presser. Everything is a game. These guys are not wearing Italian suits. Did you see that they are not wearing very expensive suits? No, I'm not saying they didn't have the suits. I'm just saying they're dressing very poshy now. You know, like when you upgrade your life. You know what I mean? Like, Okay, I have almost 350 here right now who just joined the show. Please go ahead and go and like the live. Let's push algorithm. People need to tell me what they think about this drama that I'm seeing right in my face. Let's listen to Mr. Mafume before you hand over the mic to Welshman Ncube. I told you that prior to elections, one of my friends told me that these people were going to have their own party. I didn't believe him. At that time, Welshman Ncube was actually their attorney for Triple C 12. Deception. I'm afraid. I'm terrified, actually. Take a listen.
I want to thank the members of the Fourth Estate for coming at such a short notice. As you know, we advertise that we are holding our constitutive meetings. I do understand that some of the members of the press were saying that the president, Mafume, and the president were holding meetings on their own. I think this dispels that rumor. I don't want to use words like malicious, but as you can see, evidently we have been having meetings, not on our own, but with the other leadership of the Democratic contingent. But we want to thank you for coming. It was short notice. For that, I apologize.
Okay.
But we are reconstituting the party, and we should be able to get back to our normal programming within the shortest possible time. A lot has happened, and some of these meetings have been suspended for quite some time. I would want to acknowledge the presence of the President, Professor Welshman Ncube, Vice President Lynette Konye, Chairperson Kareniko, sorry about that. The Chairperson Sisu Zai, Secretary General Charlton Hwende, and the rest of the leadership, the organizers. Maybe they might not organize a meeting again. The two of them, our dynamic organizers, and the rest of the leadership. For out of abundance of time, I will not do the salutations, and these are the National Council members that were able to make it. We were supposed to hold it at the weekend, but because of other pressing commitments, we brought it forward to the midday. So we'll do that. But what we did is we had a standing committee, a national executive, and the National Council, which were interrupted for us to hold this press conference. I shall read some of the resolutions that we've come up with that are both external in the main and selected internal resolutions. The rest of the resolutions will be given to the press in due course. Resolution of the National Council meeting held at Harare on the 19th of June 2024. Concerned about the deteriorating economic situation and its impact on the suffering masses in rural and urban Zimbabwe, saddened by rising employment and the precarious nature of informal economic activities, as well as the galloping poverty among Zimbabweans. Further concerned about the impending ravaging impact of the El Nino and how it negatively affects food security for the majority of Zimbabwean population households. Further concerned about media reports pointing to widespread corruption associated with the awarding of tenders to benefit a few elite in Zimbabwe, the opaqueness and the lack of transparency within the tender processes, and the beneficiaries seem to be from a selected group. Observing that such corruption is rampant in the mining sector, where minerals are illicitly exported, depriving the country of the necessary impetus for sustainable economic development. Concerned about the continued deterioration of national infrastructure, such as roads and railway lines, that undermine the prospects for inclusive development. Noting the state of the Citizens Coalition for Change Party as a vehicle for the democratization agenda in Zimbabwe, and it did its commitment to the resolution of the national question. The external continue, noting the recently held elections and the need for electoral reforms and the need to bring to a closure the issues around the electoral crises and repeat crises in Zimbabwe. Also noting the deteriorating human rights situation, issues of detention, issues of arbitrary arrests, and issues of the need for people to express themselves and assemble themselves in the manner which they wish to. Noting the hasty departure of the then President Advocate Nelson Chamisa on 24 January 2024, leaving the party in disarray and in crisis. Further noting that the crisis of the party was worsened by the recall of members of parliament and councillors across the various local authorities after 23 August 2023. Appreciating the need to stabilize the party built on the 2019 Congress resolutions and agenda, and the need to deal with the national question through democratic and collective decision-making, inclusivity, and leadership cohesion. Concerned and acknowledged that the party had swayed from its founding values of democracy, participation, inclusivity, solidarity, equity, and equality, and the emergence of splitter opposition formations in Zimbabwe and the likely implications of such. Appreciating this, thus the responsibility bestowed upon the party to provide hope and solutions to the challenges faced by the majority of the Zimbabweans, the National Council met in Harare on the 19th of June 2024 in Harare and made the following resolutions.
All right.
External resolutions. That the government gears itself towards protecting the vulnerable people, both in urban and rural areas, against the impending effects of El Nino-inspired drought. That the government, through its relevant arms, fully investigates reports of corruption in the awarding of tenders and ensures that all attended issues are dealt with. Internal. The National Council mandates the leadership of the party to do everything in its power to stabilize the party and bring the same to restore collective decision-making, accountability, transparency, and respect for internal democratic processes. That in preparation for the forthcoming Congress, the party begins in earnest a process of rebuilding from the branches right up to the national level, guided by the organizing department and in terms of the 2019 Congress adopted party constitution. That such process be as inclusive as possible to accommodate all the Democrats who fell by the wayside, fatigued, discomforted, unhappy, unsettled, and upset by the internal undemocratic practices that encroached the party over the years. That the National Executive is mandated to engage and do everything in its power to re-establish the party as a democratic alternative. That the party re-establishes and be guided by the liberation agenda, principles, values that guided the liberation struggle of Zimbabwe, underpinned by the need to respect human rights, democracy, good governance, and the various rights that are enshrined in the recently passed constitution. So these are the resolutions that our council has come up with. As you are aware, our council will continue this meeting after the press. We do understand the pressure of deadlines and the need of the press to deal with other issues. If there are questions, they will be dealt with by myself and the leadership collective as led by the President, Professor Welshman. There might be other resolutions that I might have left. We will include them as we speak. Thank you.
Maybe can I just request you for a brief address from you, if it's possible.
For a brief address?
No, it's fine. We will answer.
Okay.
That aspect which I listened to is showing in the view that we are also saying there was a little internal key issue to be dealing with Charlton.
I want us to listen to Welshman, please.
Of the party, Triple C, together with the leadership that remains, which was elected by the owners of the party at the Gweru Congress. The Vice President, Honorable Gore, is here, was elected to that position at the Congress in Gweru. The Secretary General, Honorable Hwende, is here, was elected to that position at the Gweru Congress. The rest of the leadership you see here were appointed by us after the Gweru Congress. Honorable Rizai, Honorable Mafume, Honorable Mateu, Honorable Chidzeva, and so forth and so on. So you must understand that this is the leadership elected at Gweru, which had the responsibility for the management of the party after the Gweru Congress. The councillors you see here are the councillors who went to the Gweru Congress representing the provinces, the 10 provinces, who were elected by the membership at provincial level. Of course, others have fallen by the wayside, others have left. A political organization is by definition a voluntary association. Those who leave are replaced by those who remain. That's in the nature of all organizations. It's not necessary for us to detail how many, the numbers. They are here, you can see them, take pictures. They were there in Gweru. The reality you ask about, did we discuss Senator Chabangu, did we discuss what has happened since 22 January 2022? Yes, we did. Yes, we made resolutions on that.
I love that. Senator Chabangu. Right.
We accepted as National Council that we slept on duty. We accepted that the confidence of the owners of the party in Gweru was reposed in us as a collective. We accepted our acts of omission and commission in failing to assert ourselves as the National Council of a democratic movement, timeously. But they say better late than never. We have asserted that authority. We are asserting that authority as the National Council. We have a responsibility to report at the next Congress what we did well, what we failed to do. and for the owners of the party at that Congress to decide whether they still trust any one of us to continue to repose any confidence in us, or to select from among themselves a different leadership. Our main task, as things stand now, is not only to evaluate the state of the party, to rebuild the party, its organs and its structures, but also as council to take full control of the party.
Oh, okay.
In its relationship with the members, in its relationship with the state and state institutions.
Okay. Oh yeah, relationship with the state institutions. So that makes a lot of
We
sense.
acknowledge in this council
Yeah.
that the state and some state institutions, from the judiciary through parliament, ZEC, have recognized the signature of Senator Chabang
Oh wow.
as the signature representing the party. We acknowledge that, contrary to what some of us have said in the past, that we didn't know Senator Chabang, we did. He was a member of this body. He was a member of the National Executive, he was a member of the National Council. He attended the fateful meeting of 22 January 2022. That he was not the Secretary General. He assumed that position under strategic ambiguity.
I want to stop right there. Remember when Samangu came to the space and he was talking and people said this man was crazy. Remember them mentioning Welshman, Hwende. It was very clear. I told you this script, man. My friend, I'm so sorry that I didn't believe you. Maybe if I came here and talk about it, I could remind you. When he said, I was like, no, man. He's crazy. My friend is crazy. He told me that, hey, these Welshman, you can't trust them. They are working on something. That was prior to elections. Yeah, prior to elections. At that time, Welshman was running around with Triple C at the 12th, like he was defending them in court. Remember, for them to be reinstated after they were recalled. It was all a script. I want you to know that in life, you see life is interesting. You need to just, this is why don't trust people. I don't care who the person is. Human beings are bound to change. Human beings can deceive you to a point where you lose yourself. But being someone who's been deceived, and it came out of it stronger. Man, I like challenge. I would say this to Nelson Chamisa. Hear me out, brother. This is the time where you know that your calling is greater. That's why there's so much resistance. They always say the greater calling, greater devils. The devil does not want to leave Zimbabwean people. He's fighting to the tooth and nail. I want you to know, guys, I've told you last time, your destiny, the enemy is like, he can't let you go. He can't let you go. But don't worry. He knows his time is short. He knows his time is short. They did not know Shavangu. I remember that all of them, we don't know Shavangu, don't know Shavangu, don't know Shavangu. Shavangu like it was crazy. One thing that I came to a realization is that the person that is really being fought here is not so in Chamisa. That's my take. But I asked you a question last time. Do you guys have a problem to be led by someone younger? I want you to know something from a Zimbabwean context. Okay. Zimbabwean context is because it's a very traditional cultured nation that never evolved for many years. People are still so much sold out to the past that when it comes to leadership, even with chiefs as well, people fight for these positions. Masabu, people fight for positions. It's a country that never evolved. That if Zimbabwe could have evolved like what happens with other countries, we wouldn't be seeing things as bad as they are today. But unfortunately, it is still operating like it's in 1500s, So people don't even feel anything about their actions because it's the norm. Deception is the norm. If we check families today, that never evolved. There are families that never evolved. There's a lot of jealousy, hatred. Munagatenga mota ani chikwambo, right? Vanoroya. I always laugh when I hear those stories. I laugh like, are you crazy? It's poverty. That's what poverty does. It messes up with your mind. It's poverty. And that's why ZANU-PF mastered cultivating poverty over the years so that they can control. And they are really controlling. The regime is controlling. It is very sad to watch, but to them, they think they're powerful. So they think they're powerful. This one think, oh my God, a favor. And do not forget that over the years, there are people that come peace some ZANU-PF. I can mention my brother whom I respect and honor. I respect this man because he's a box office. He's an intelligent man. Lucy Lumumba. No. What's his name? Is it what? Not Lucy Lumumba. Esi Lumumba. Please forgive me, brother. Esi Lumumba. He's an intelligent man. That guy used to be like top. Like, what are you talking about? But I want to ask, where is he today? That's how the enemy works. He's a master illusionist. He sells you a dummy. He's a user. There have been people use Vanamonzo Makashandis, what today they are nothing. They chew you like a bubble gum, they spit you like that, used you like a bubble gum. And I'm not sure I feel for my brothers. When I see Welshman and all the cabal, I feel for them. Because they think like we took a pizza, like it's happening for us, like we are the real deal in town. No, brother. No. You're being sold a dummy. Do you know what money is not everything? There's money that comes with a cost. And that cost is cancerous and poison. Okay, I don't know why I'm just thinking about this quickly. I don't know for those that knows Kanye Bao, right? Kanye Bao. Yeah, Kanye Bao ran with older men, rich older men. She ran with them early in her days. But I remember listening to one of the interviews telling young girls and say, listen, when you're dating a man, or even single man with money, and he can give you everything that you want, but you're the one that pays for it, right? Because to him, that money means nothing. It's nothing. I've got the money, so who cares? I don't care. You know what I mean? Yes. So people don't understand what's going on here. It's a dynamic that is very interesting here. Men are being used and they don't see it. They think, oh man, pizza, mutoni, serena Mafume, serena Welshman, serena Songezo is all of a sudden the dude has gained weight, drives a Fortuna, wearing Italian suits, and like they feel like it's happening for us. No, brothers, nothing's happening. It's a dummy. You are being used. Very soon, you regret you never did it. They did not give you the money. You're paying for it with your soul. You are selling your soul for temporary gratification. And your children will look square in your eyes and ask you, what did you do? And you can't give them answers. Right? You can't give them answers. In Zimbabwe, many people are selling destiny for peanuts. And these people would have been multi-billionaires. Can I tell you, under normal circumstances, looking at a person like Welshman, I know he's an attorney, he's been an attorney for years. Today, he could have been the most successful attorney in town. So I'm not only talking about him being a successful attorney. He could have built a name, a great legacy, not only for himself, for his children and children and children and grandchildren a legacy of a great attorney. But no, they've sold that for peanuts. They don't see it. And it's not them. A lot of people. Everyone, we've been, one way or the other, maybe you go to, you can all end up with your house, you know, Toramar. You sold out your destiny and your children's destiny. Guys, listen and hear me out. If there are young people here, I've said there's a majority of people who watch these videos are in Zimbabwe. Young people, hear me out. It's simply a season. Everything will pass. You're going to look back and say, what did we do? Was it necessary? Was it worth it? You want a better Zimbabwe to come, it will come with a sacrifice. A stable society requires a sacrifice. It's the deception is deep. But my heart, I feel for them. You know, there's something so powerful about legacy, y'all. Yeah. Take your money and give me my purpose, because I can have all the money that I want and peace at the same time. Right now they are wearing face Zimbabwe. Mambona Mateu face Zimbabwe. You know why? Because they are feeling embarrassed. So I'm gonna have to pretend like everything's working. You know. They know hapana. There's nothing going on there. Absolutely nothing. And I know nothing. They know there's nothing. This whole thing is not going to go anywhere. Especially now that Zimbabweans are wiser. They've walked through all these scripts for decades. It's like watching the same movie that you've watched over and over and over. You know, you're like, no, man, I need something different. You as human beings were meant to see variety. That's why if we see something, we get bored easily. So this whole saga of nonsense shenanigans, it has passed. People want a functioning Zimbabwe. And I've told people that I don't care about political parties anymore. I want a nation that functions respectfully, where no one has to be given money to sell anything, but rather meritocracy.
Sorry,
I
don't understand.
Are you able to do the job? And you get paid for doing the work. That's the Zimbabwe that I want to see. What's happening currently? Oh, these are just side shows. We know the real deal. Corruption. That is ruined this country. Oh, these are simply side shows. People are being paid to play games. We don't have time for this. That's our main focus right now. Mafume, please. And by the way, every Zimbabwean has the right to start a political party. And I don't think it's about starting the political party that matters. It's the deception, deceiving people. Guys, I don't see anything wrong. Say, I want to start my business or start something new. Go ahead and do it. But I'm telling you, I know, because I've had people that I worked with some time ago, and they'll tell my clients, take my clients behind my back until they tell me, without me knowing actually. So I know what deception looks like. You know, the people that you have loved, believed in, push, and, you know, and they turn around, they try to sell you out, destroy you. But men, me, I float. No man dead or alive can bring me down. I float, just like that. When you think I go down, I float. You know why? Because I'm dangerously blessed. I understand purpose, and I know I'm going. And nobody, absolutely nobody can bring me down. This is what I'm telling you. Chamisa knows what he's doing. He's not stupid. He knows what he knows where he steps on. Listen, you can't defeat him Munanamari, man. Come on. You can't defeat him Munanamari. Listen to me, I'm telling you now. You cannot. You can do all that you want, but you can't defeat. Because those people float. Kupera. People see no better. Vanopera never gimmicks. Purpose does not finish. Purpose is for a lifetime. It's a journey. Right? It does have hurdles. Right? Sometimes you fall. People think, oh, it's over. No, it's not over until God says it's over. You float. You make a move. It's a game of chess. Right? If God says Chamisa will be the president of Zimbabwe, you're going to say, Your Excellency, Your Excellency, whether you like it or not, and let me tell you, he's going to do like what Mandela did. Mandela said, oh, that he betrayed me. Give them the front chairs. Holy Spirit. Give them the front chairs. That's how winners play the game. Winners know who they are. You may think there are people who celebrate, some who don't even sleep. Oh my God, really? Do you think so? Wait and see. Wait and see what's coming. Hey! Look what this side tricky. In life, especially those who depend on the one above. You know, Yahweh. They go to church for the sake of, I just want to belong to the church. And there are people that are chosen. And the chosen ones, you can't bring them down. You don't with the process. You know what I'm saying? You want to go to do you? Do you think so? It's in your head. You know? Yeah. Shamangu, sir, you were right. I don't know how they were sleeping. Yeah, guys, in and the drama. I don't have time for that. Like all these games, and I don't have time for games. So I don't know how they were sleeping at night, waking up and think about the next lie. The next lie. Like I said, maybe I don't know what Chamisa did to them. Maybe he wronged them. But I'm seeing people who are obsessed with positions than they are to serve. So there's a difference. Now, there's a difference between a position and service. I don't want positions. I can conquer the world with my name, Rumbi as it is. I don't want positions. I don't like titles. I don't like big audio miss. I don't want positions. Don't give me a title. I can conquer the world with my name, Rumbi as it is. It's a blessed name. They're obsessed with positions. You know why? Because they have nothing to offer. That's what happens. When you have nothing to offer, you love positions. Give me a title. Call me the bishop of the bishops and the evangelist and the teacher. You want all manner of names. You know why? Because you have nothing to offer. Real people who understand purpose don't care about positions. They keep moving. They make strides and they win all the time. The Zimbabwe that is coming, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. Now finally, all this time, all this time, they were back and forth fights on social media. People thought you were just trying to wanyepera. Now they are out of the bag and everyone can see. And all I can say is Zimbabweans have the right. If someone wants to start a new party, guys, I really think, in my opinion, I would love a situation of what I saw in South Africa here. Different strong parties that people are tired of binary politics. That's why there's a lot of fights in the country. It's two parties every time. ZANU-PF is afraid of Chamisa. So whoever that is closer to him, they will fight to the tooth and nail. You understand what I'm saying? Also, you know, that needs to be somewhat neutralized. Let's have strong political players, very strong political players, strong individuals who can come through, divide the votes in whatever way that it can happen, and then we build a Zimbabwe that we all want and do away with toxic politics. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Because otherwise, all this drama will never end. It's drama after drama after drama. Unnecessarily, it doesn't help. It doesn't cut. Unfortunately, it does not cut. It doesn't cut. But you can hear Mr. Ncube is now saying, we know we knew Shavangu, we're just pretending. But he was like, that interview said, I didn't know Shavangu. Now he knows Shavangu. But I saw there are also many reasons why people sometimes can't agree that I know someone. They're afraid of the pushbacks. So it makes sense a lot that they behaved the way they did. They were afraid of how you guys were going to react. And, you know, immediately. So they simply didn't know what to do. But anyway, that don't really matter. one thing that matters currently, that I think even Chamisa, if you can hear me, sir, or any other political player, what matters right now is having a Zimbabwe that functions for everyone. All these shenanigans these are just simply side shows. We keep moving. We are purpose driven. We want to see a successful nation, a peaceful nation, a loving nation. My drama at Aneta now, people are being brutalized every time. Again, police Zimbabwe, please. It else maprise ku Bulawayo. Honestly, maprise ku Bulawayo ndodada now. They're top class. Avangorove vanu, anosvika they talk properly and people disperse. But if you know blood, know fights, and it's time for you to introspect and be people who are professional. It time maprise class man. You can't tell me kuti my officers and my politicians kuti marova ere vanu. To one man vakaungana. Guys, you're not allowed to assemble. Can you please right now leave? They're going to respect you. But no, no, guys, it's time for you to introspect. You don't need to be told by any president or any human being to do right, guys. You come from a family, right? Everyone is raised by a family that you were taught to do right. Respect the people, right? And stop beating up people. It's unnecessary. There is no need of fighting. But now that Mr. Ncube has confirmed that he knows Shamangu, let's take a listen to what else is he going to say.
Therefore, it behoves us, and we're so resolved. We must engage him.
All right.
As council.
It's a good thing. There's nothing wrong, sir.
As a member of council, to resolve this issue. What should be his role going forward? We further resolved to engage the state and state institutions.
All right, that's nice.
With a view to regaining full control of the party.
All right.
For the state institutions to recognize that decisions of this party are made by this body and communicated by persons authorized by this body. It is our priority task. Whether we succeed or not remains to be seen, but it is our task.
Okay.
Further than that, you ask how much damage has been done. It's self-evident. I don't know any of you. I can't say because of the lights. Among you who speak in Ndebele. There's an expression in Ndebele which says, "Ubuza inja enduna iguflathela." You don't have to ask, it is there, you can see. The damage is there. But the biggest damage is how far back this period has taken us in the struggle for a democratic alternative in the country. It will be years and years before we can reset, restore the agenda that the opposition is a democratic alternative to ZANU-PF. That it is the antithesis of ZANU-PF. Not just in terms of what we say, but also in terms of what we do. Our competitive advantage in electoral terms relates to who we are as agents of democratic change. When we begin to look like ZANU-PF, then we cease in the eyes of the electorate to be that democratic alternative. we are not underestimating the task that faces us. It's huge. The damage has been immense. But this council has made a call to arms. Whatever it takes, at the very least, we must be understood, we must be seen to be the democratic alternative, the party which will ensure that the ideals of the liberation struggle on freedom, on liberty, on respect of human rights. There are compatriots as we speak who have been incarcerated, who by all accounts have been tortured. No one under any circumstances should ever be subject of torture. We may differ with them in our politics, but we demand that their human rights be respected. We demand that they be not subject to arbitrary arrest. We demand that they be not subjected to torture, which is prohibited across the world. You don't have to be our friend, you don't have to be our political ally to be entitled to enjoy those freedoms. We stand firm on that. So that's what I'm adding to what Harare 1 presented to you as a summary of our conversation. If you have further questions, you will take them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I do understand you are pressed for time as journalist. So in consideration, I'll probably take one, but I do respect the desire to meet deadlines. But I think the point that we are making is that a journey of 1,000 steps, you begin with one step. We had the democratic ideals that we began from the Working People's Conventions to the point that we are here now, and the various transformations that we have seen us get into government, out of government, build constitutions, not only for the party, but including the constitution that this country is currently utilizing. It is a constitution that we participated in. And in all those processes, we were guided by a set of values. And those values were not personal, they were objective, normative, and in sync with contemporary understanding of human rights, democratic principles, and good governance principles. And it is that understanding where the collective matters more than the individual, where we believe that for anything happens to any one of us, we are living institutions and a country that can continue based on the values that would have agreed with each other and not based on personal issues. So that is where we are. We will rebuild it again, as the president said, and we will take the time it requires. We've done it before, we can do it again. Thank you.
All right, you heard what Mafume says. So here's the thing that I'm going to tell you. And I don't want you guys to catch feelings at all, because I told you last time that don't catch feelings on behalf of politicians. They know what they're doing. It's a game of chess. You remember that last time you saw Nelson Chamisa greeting all of these guys, at a birthday party, celebrating the life of King Charles, right? You remember that? So don't catch feelings. Take it easy. We are getting there. I'm a firm believer that it will take a lot for us to get to where we are, and it takes all of us to come together so that we can push towards the Zimbabwe that we want. All that you are seeing, all these things are simply games. Don't worry about that. Let it play and laugh, enjoy, smile. It's important. Don't catch feelings. Chamisa, as we speak right now, maybe he's actually sleeping, he's in bed right now. And you're angry. Don't be angry. Take it easy. We are getting to where we are going. Okay. I know most of you support him. There's quite a number of political players out there. There's a lot, but let me tell you, there's dirty politics playing out there. My prayer I've been saying to God, I do not want any dirty politician. Because I do not like deception. And then I like politics, the good thing. They follow you. They follow you, right? And then you guys compete. The toxicity in Zimbabwe is too much. It's unnecessary, and it must be crushed by all means. At the end of the day, we don't want to create enemies. We want to be one people. One thing I want to tell you is politicians, don't be angry on behalf of politicians. But what you can do is to actually see who has got the qualities that you want and you follow. The rest of the stuff don't really matter. People can say whatever they want to say. One thing we must all agree is that we want the systems of ZANU-PF to go. They are a torture to the people of Zimbabwe. We are in this quagmire because of them. So we have to agree on one thing, that we want these systems to go. But hatred unnecessarily. Look at this analysis, please. I want to say shout out to David Quack. Definitely like you, please. Great analysis. He said this is quite commendable. 10 of effects. It's good to see that while comrades have now come out in the open and are now pursuing the MDC Alliance Gweru Congress CCC agenda, it's in the interest of everyone that people break away amicably and follow their preferred path. The bravery to ditch the handsome face of advocate Chamisa on their logos and party material is also commendable, because I told you they've done that. I once jokingly say to my brother Mafume that you should stop claiming to have made people when you are incapable of making yourself. Now all shall become clear. Sorry, it must be stated it must be stated for the sake of history that these wild comrades are brought together because of leadership differences with Nelson Chamisa, and they're very clear. Citizens already know that what Nelson Chamisa offers. The burden is now on them to cover up for Nelson Chamisa's leadership deficiencies, as they alleged. Observers may say, well, this is somewhat a false start. If the executive is supposedly made up of people as elected in Gweru, do the members match up? Can a register be pulled up support the bizarre claim that political animals can be stuck in Gweru in 2019, 5 years later? Some may say, well, if Chamisa's charge sheet includes a controversial candidate selection imposition process, why didn't they do anything when they had an opportunity to participate in by-elections? In fact, why didn't they participate in the by-elections at all? Some may query and say that if Chamisa's charge sheet, okay, sorry, I've read that. I think, sorry, once again. Charge sheet, as stated by my brother Hwende, said that other includes reliance on SADC regarding the election dispute. Why haven't they done what they preach? Is it out of convenience or simply playing to the gallery? Does anyone honestly look at the CCC during Nelson's reign and what it became post his resignation and think the rupture was worth it? Is CCC in a better place now as an alternative, playing watchdog role? Is this cabal playing any irrelevant role in our body politic? Time shall tell how long this union will last. Perhaps they will do things better. Soon go. Congress soon is threatened. They're going to have Congress, they mentioned. I don't know what Congress with 5 people there. I don't know what kind of Congress it is. I'm not there to judge. I'm not there to judge. My closest friend in university would always mask our procrastination by saying, like you, there's no hurry in Africa. We watch and go see. Means thank you. We are also watching very closely, as for me, but I'm not really buying the reasons for their actions. Like you heard Mafume saying, it's because Chamisa, they may always accuse me of a one-man band, whatever the case may be. I get it. But one thing that I know was the issue of positions. The guys were made about positions. But like I said, this whole script was done prior to election. So I'm very much worried about the position people that are trying to bring here. I really think there must be something playing in the background that that there are people who may be working with these guys trying to cause chaos. We all know the person that is giving people sleepless nights. It's not so charming because it's loved by the people. Politicians know that. Like I said, I'm not a politician, so I just see all their drama there. But I really think that Chabisa is giving people headache. That because right now, if he says tomorrow I've got a party called Hello, people are going to follow Hello and leave everything, and we all know that. Like just like that, they'll follow Hello. So for that reason, I mean, I just know that it's all really boils down to the fact that they're fighting one person and they're thinking by saying he's a problem, it will make them feel better. But the truth of the matter is, he just have the anointing they don't have, unfortunately. But trust me, it happens. Cain killed his brother Abel because he was blessed. He was simply anointed. And he wasn't anointed. You know the first person? Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus. He was desperate for the anointing. The devil himself was desperate for the anointing and was checked out of heavens because of that. The first people, it won't start with that now. It happens every time. At work, in families, some people are hated because they are blessed more than the other ones. It happens everywhere. So I don't think the people of Zimbabwe really cares. All they want is reformed in place, free and fair election on the table. People know who they're going to vote for. By the way, there's also Savior again. Savior is also coming, right? I can see a lot of campaigning on social media too. So like I said, he's not the only person. There are a lot of politicians that you actually don't even know that are coming up come 2028. All these 2030, all these are just a joke, man. They're just wasting time. The elections are coming up and so many politicians will come through, I can tell you. So it's, no, man, that's nothing. Let people do what they can do, what they're happy to do. But it's interesting. Interesting days ahead. I'm glad we're going to be seeing quite a lot. Right. A lot. Let's see. Saturday is around the corner. Protests are also there. Plans for the protests which are ahead. I've seen some of flyers that are going around, and I think the other one, I need to actually read that one. Maybe it can help. For people that are planning for the protests as well, people are saying the police are going rogue because they're trying to intimidate people so that they won't be protest. But for me, I think peaceful protests are allowed because the Constitution do allow that. So, and also I'm a firm believer that we can't live a life being manipulated by one or two people with their own personal interests. We must do what's good for the country, right? It's very, very important. Yeah, very important. Now, this is Smoo here. There are flyers already printed, if I'm not mistaken. They sent me the information that I could tell you here. Flyers already printed. They are really on, there's flyers, water as well, like mineral water is already made. Again, let's fix Zimbabwe with that campaign that is coming up now. The protests are coming. I think these are the flyers, a lot of flyers. It's called Let's Fix Zimbabwe Objectives. It's not a political party, act of justice, voice of the people, united our nation, end of poverty, restore education, healthy systems, give our children a better future, our rights to be fully understood and respected. So there's a lot going on in the background. In a post, I think a pre-SADC meeting or even post-SADC meeting, whatever the case may be, but there are actually protests that are underway from what I've read, preparations, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I think Zimbabweans have the right to protest peacefully. We don't want violence in the country. Peacefully is let's just, let the government know where we stand and what we expect of them, right? And then moving on now, we have the wife of Nicholas Zakaria crying. Okay, I said the wife of Nicholas Zakaria was crying, apparently looking for medication for the husband that he's not well. He's suffering from sugar diabetes, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember last time Nicholas was one of the people who took the car from Wikino Chivayo. Oh, by the way, those cars, allegations are, some of them are not paid. But this is what I'm saying, honestly, to Mom Zakaria, is that we are all fighting to have a better Zimbabwe where you guys can have access to medication. But when you guys keep on taking trinkets from crooked people, we can't have a solution on the table. Principles have to reign in the country. Guys, We need to have a solution by doing right. If we want Zimbabwe to work, we need to change our ways. We really need to change our ways, doing the right thing or nothing. In Inangu, I'm not a perfect person, but I've realized that doing things right works. It really does. It eliminates stress and problems. But every time does my shortcuts, kutite mshonga ma hospital, regerai kutora mari dzema politicians. Regerai, because the more you're doing so, the more you empower them, and the more they abuse you, and things are not moving. But for those that can help, please go out there and be of a blessing. They need help. Nicholas Zachary, I think you know him, the musician. Imagine under normal circumstances, musicians. I mean, imagine a musician like Nicholas Zachary. Like my daddy loved the music. We've got quite a number of cassettes at our house of Nicholas Zachary. You know, I remember the man was good. My daddy was, a guy who loved, living. Daddy, I love you. So you used to play that music, and when we dance, used to drink alcohol. My daddy, yeah, it's no longer, but he used to drink alcohol. Oh no, it does. He still, I don't know, but because I really, he does his thing, but I love him. And so I know his music. I expect him to be really successful right now, but unfortunately, he's not, because guys, stop taking dirty money from politicians. Let's fix the country. We can't fix the country if you're taking dirty money. We can't, guys. Listen, all of us, we are making sacrifices. So you should, so that we fix the country, don't we? Right? We should make sacrifices. It's very important. So I really feel for her, and I pray that people reach out, those that may, if God leads you to be of a blessing, please do so. Let's help each other and make sure that at least we are able to sanitize our society. Things are not okay in the country. People are struggling. You know what I mean? But we need to work together to make sure that is resolved. Very important. And I told you tomorrow morning we'll be looking at Auxilia Mnangagwa and the shenanigans that is going down right now of selling material. Also I want to tell you, I'm also going to look at some of the things that Jonathan Moyo said about Emmerson Mnangagwa, the president, and also telling you why I think that Nelson Chamisa can be the best foot forward. There's quite a number of, I don't see much on the campaign trail, but I'll tell you my reasons, the kind of leader that you need in the country. What are the qualities you may look into a leader? A person who brings peace in the country, I'll tell you, what are the qualities you must look into? Very important. It's important for us to really now scrutinize people. It's not longer just we get wow when they go crazy, and no, we are going to use our brains to choose the leaders that we know will take us where we are going. Correct? Please. By all means, Zimbabwe will be fixed. Relax, guys. We are very close to the finishing line. So, Musawara. Okay. Musawara, guys. So there's a family life. I'm a family-oriented woman, and I'm gonna read this story that is very interesting, so you guys can tell me what you think about it. So it was reported by Crime Watch Zimbabwe. You can follow them as well. I think we must remember, the Zimbabwe we are approaching now is a Zimbabwe where we're going to have a lot of the television stations, a lot of very powerful, media gurus. It's going to be an interesting times ahead. So guys, prepare either way. For those that are either you're good at whatever you're doing in life, prepare, because that time is coming. Your time to shine is arrived. Your time to shine is here. I'm going to read the story. They said married Romeo dupes girlfriend of US $3,000. Oh, is that all? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So a local aircraft engineer allegedly lured his girlfriend into a relationship, promised to marry her in August before defrauding her of $3,000. For reaching Gorima made Cheza Chimuka about 6 months ago, and even threw a lavish birthday party for her, where he proposed to her. Okay, they met 6 months ago. And then he threw a birthday party, and then he proposed to her. Interesting. Cheza claims she was later introduced to fake relatives by Forichi or in bid to deceive her into believing his antics. Wow. Fake relatives, he's saying. Forage, who has allegedly used the same modus operandi to dupe a number of people, he was targeting various women, business, and fuel stations. I never suspected that Forage would would call me. He's someone I trusted and loved. He's someone who loves a flashy life and drives expensive cars. Red flag right there. Please, guys, I want you to underline, he is someone who loves flashy life and drives expensive cars. Underline those two words. Very important to note. We met in Mutare and he knew me, and he knew if he, we met in Mutare and he knew if he kept me close, he would manipulate me through the love relationship. He told me he was a CIO agent. Another, please make sure that you underline that the CIO nonsense that's going down in Zimbabwe. Every man on the street is a CIO. All right, agent, and works for the Civil Aviation Authority. Okay, so he was a CIO, and he was also working as an aircraft engineer. That sounds familiar. All right, so Civil Aviation Authority. And each time he came to Mutare, he was booked at a local hotel with his friends. He's also lied to me that he was single, yet he has a wife and children in Chirezi. All right. He also lied to me that he was single. All right. You would sometimes spend the weekend at his house in Harare, and there was no sign that he is married, and I was deceived. After discovering his marital status, I almost killed myself. Oh, wow. You want to commit suicide because of a man? Shout out. Crazy, yeah? Crazy. Ndakaposta ndatumaroga. But I got help before I ended my life already. Sweetheart. You don't kill yourself for a man, right? She said she just wants to recover her money. That's all she wants. This is quite an interesting story. So a man so how did the man got the money then? Because I don't hear where the man was taken here. The man said he was a CIO agent and also claimed that he was a civil engineer. And then he would book himself in hotels, right? He drives fancy cars and he lives a flamboyant life. You know, those are the Gucci boys, you know, the Gucci, Louis Vuitton, DG, even some of them, they're fake. Do you know that in Dubai? Apparently, you know, there are layers of Louis Vuitton, right? There are layers. The one that you can find in Joburg town, you know what I'm saying? Louis Vuitton as well. They are layers. And in Dubai, the original LV that you see at the window, but they are also LV. They call, they are not LV, but they are LV. So they will take you, when you get a shop in between there, and there. You get it, right? And most of people wear those brands and you don't really know. They are in between. They're not really the fake ones, but they're in between. It's just kind of another, like, when you have an imitation of a brand, right? They imitate Louis LV and they really make it good brand because, that's Dubai for you. So these guys normally wear those kind of, they're not original, but because you don't really know the difference between the two, so you believe that it's an original, right? So I wanted to give you a story of my friend, more or less like the same story. A beautiful girl of mine, my friend I love so deeply. She met a Zimbabwean guy. I'll tell you, a Zimbabwean guy who once been in Qatar. So because he was been in Qatar, his cell phone number was still linked in Qatar. You know, when you phone a person on WhatsApp, if I'm in Johannesburg and if I move to the States right now, I can still use my South African number, but when I'm in, you know how it works. So this guy would, say I'm staying in Qatar and in Johannesburg. He was in Johannesburg. So she fell in love with this guy for some time, and it went on and on. This guy would leave like Randburg to go to the airport or a Tambo, with his suitcase of clothes. Woodwinking my friend that he was coming from Qatar and he was staying in Johannesburg. This happened for a long time until he engaged my friend. But because my friend did not check in the ring, was it original or whatever, my friend, I don't know why she was woodwinked, because I'm a person who can go to the shop and check or go online and see how much this ring costs. I'm that kind of mama. I'm that kind of woman because I'm very nosy. You know what I'm saying? Let me detective myself. So she not check. Fast forward, These men who do all this drama, it's those guys very good. They can throw roast petals on top of the bed and show you all this romantic fantasy nonsense. Those kind of men. Yeah, I know how to spot a good man. Good men are very chilled. They're very chilled and classy. They don't rush. You know why? Because they're also watching you. A real man takes his time. He's watching you. He's not stupid to show you all these glamour and Only players do those kind of games because you know why? They're after you. So I can show you, because women, when they see these things, oh my God, he loves me, or he cares for me, it's a game. So my friend was played, duped big time. He did it 3-4 times. She would drive the car to the airport. I'm picking my boyfriend from the airport. And the guy's leaving, run big, going to Aura Tambo, and go to my friends. You buy gifts. And she would think, oh my God, my boyfriend came with the gifts from Qatar. No, he wasn't. It was in Johannesburg. Until somebody who knew the story said, we need to tell this girl the truth. This guy does not stay to any Qatar, nothing. A Zimbabwean guy. Can I tell you, Zimbabwean guys, not all, majority of our brothers, single men, have tend to be devils. Doctor, from a single perspective, I said not all, but most of Zimbabwean guys single, I have tend to be devils. They treat women badly. And it's not their fault, they're broken men. And what they're doing is they're projecting their brokenness on women. They are hurting because of our toxic politics. And they don't know how to deal with the situation. Now, what they're doing, they're on a rampage to hurt people. Hurt people. But it's up to women now. My friend eventually find out. It was a mess. She went to the shop. She told me she can trade the ring. That ring was costing 300 rand. I'm talking about my friend. So, sis, you're not the only person. These kind of men are everywhere. But that's why you as a woman, you must use your brain. God gave you the brains for a reason. I've always been telling girls and say, listen, don't let people fool you. What you're seeing on social media, on Instagram, everything is a game. The real life comes back to basics. Principles work. Put them to task. A genuine, authentic man who loves you, the way he deals with these things is very different. He's very different. If a man is just, either he doesn't want to, I always say to people, when you're starting a conversation with a man, listen to him talk about real life. Not I love you, oh baby, my wife. Oh, they've mastered that art. Trust me, you're not the only person who hears that. Ask me, I'll tell you. I don't know how many have said my wife. I'm like, please, stop right there. You have to be a husband to qualify to be my husband, for me to be your wife. I'm a wife already waiting for a real man, a husband. So because I'm a wife, I know how to identify a husband. Very much so. Because I'm a wife. I took all my years to work on becoming a good wife. So I can spot a man from a distance if he's a husband material or not. And I know when I meet a husband material, how he behaves, how he conduct himself, how he respects himself, how he's not all over the place. He talks about patient vision. Where are you going? But unfortunately, out of all that I've heard about this girl, I've heard only fantasy. I've never heard she talks about, we could have conversations. If you meet a man and he talks about going to bed, go, run. I can tell you. All he's talking about is bad. Girl. Focus on talk about important issues. Where you going, sir? Where's your mama? Where's your dad? Can I see your family? Guys, in coming from a culture where you can date a person and you must walk, people should see this person, you dating him openly. Even if it doesn't work, it's okay. It's part of life, right? You are learning each other. If it doesn't work, fair play. But when a man is just he's not honest, everything that he says, put it to task, test it. Do your own research. We're in 2024 now. Panama groups are but we come talk very easy to find Rusape, Mashingo, Harare, everywhere. Easy to task, to find. Very married. This is 2024, guys. You can find information just like that. Be it in America, be it in the UK, be it in South Africa. You can find information to get if a person is married or not. Zimbabwe, easy peasy. How can you be hoodwinked that a man is married and he can lie that he's not married? It's easy. A married man, you can tell. Don't call me, I'll call you. Yeah. Don't phone me, I'll phone you. He doesn't answer for the phone all the time. He comes to stories. You know what I'm saying? Red flag. Girl, listen. You need to be wiser than the devil. You take care of yourself, not worrying about the other person. Take care of yourself. You're the prize. Girls, you are the prize. I am the prize. I tell you, a man who marries me is a blessed man. He's a chosen man. You're not marrying your wife. You're marrying a nation. I'm a blessing. Marrying me, I'm an asset. So listen, so for that reason, you have to have the qualities of being able to take an asset, right? So why are you giving men money from the first place? Why do you do that? All my life, God knows I lie not. 41 years, I've never given a man money in my life. What do you give me money for? To do what? Because a man with pride, he will never ask a woman money. The fact that a man is asking for money is a red flag. I know there are exceptionals where people say, no, but I gave you money, I help him to do this, and we stood together. I do not judge life based on exceptionals. Right? I don't. I have to consider the odds. Man, a real man is proud of himself. You will never lower his standard to be asking money from a woman. He doesn't. Because you know why? He's got pride. He knows he's worthy. So you will never do it. So if a man is asking you for money, red flag, run. Tell him seriously. Because on his own, he's already lowered his standards. He will never respect him, right? So a man would rather be broke, and he will never show that he's broke. He keeps on protecting. Trust me, we have been broke. And we will never say to people we're broke. We still bath and go outside and shine. You know, and keep pressing on the button. God, help me. So, girl, put yourself first. The country is in a mess. I don't blame you, my angel. Sometimes you can be hoodwinked, but trust me, Zimbabwe is messed up. This is why I'm here. We are trying to reshape our society because men are broken. They don't know what to do with the brokenness. These politics have hurt our people, unfortunately. Because today, these kind of guys that you are seeing could have been multimillionaires because they had potential. But politicians with their toxicity and wickedness ruined their lives. Majority of them are mentally deranged because they're questioning their identity. And it's okay. It's not their fault. Politicians need to take responsibility for how they've ruined lives. As said, I hope you get your 3K, but if a man would take your 3K, girl, he doesn't have. Listen to me, girls. Listen to me. Men who flash, majority of them are not good men. There are men who come from very rich families, but still they don't flash. They're very humble. And when a man is trying to jump up and down, check their tracks. You will see that no, something's wrong. They're just broken people. You don't flash except when something is missing. You don't seek for validation because you're already whole, except when you're not whole. People who are whole, they don't seek for validation from anybody. All right? I don't have to seek for your validation. You know why? Because I'm whole. So whether you believe me or you like me or you don't like me, that's your problem. I know where I'm going. So that's my main goal, right? So a real man, he doesn't care about things much. Even if he's driving a nice car, the way he handles you, you can see he's very humble and classy, respectful, because he's coming from a good family, right? He's well raised. But when he doesn't have that, I can guarantee you, girl, I've seen it all. I've seen it all. If you genuinely want to be in love, beware of those men who are rushing. They are better, red flag. They are always speedy, you know, they are very materialistic, crazy about stuff. For them, it's all about the stuff, red flag. A real man is humble because he understands the process and he will respect you wherever you are, right? That's a good man to take to your mama's house. You want a husband, not a project. It's both ways, men as well. You don't want a project, you want a wife. If your man is all over the place, don't waste your time. Don't invest your money into a woman who's all over the place. If she's after money, red flag. Red flag. Right. I'm sorry, my angel. I hope you get your money. But in ndokuzeva skana, mune dzungu, problem nedzungu. Vakomana matsotsi ndo vamnotoda actually. Matsotsi anowana vanhu because matsotsi they master their art. They've got sweet tongues, so they know how to talk, right? They know how to lure girls and they're very good at talking. You're my wife, sweetheart, darling, baby, I'm here, you know. That's their language, my wife. They're very good at that, my wife. Because they know God's wife. You see yourself in that car? You see yourself with all the stuff that you have? No. Don't do that, my angel. Put yourself first. Use your brain. Ask to see family. Talk about important issues. And red flag. But I know sometimes you fall in love first. But I guess because I'm mature, I've seen it, I've burned before, so I I understand. So I can teach you from a point of understanding. I hope you get your money. God bless you guys. I love you so much. May God bless you and may God bless Zimbabwe. We have a very great time tonight. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow. We're going to be looking at the first lady, Auxilia Mnangagwa. Why didn't I love to follow stories that are happening? And politicians, I'm sorry to say this. If you're afraid for me to talk about, you better not do things out there because we're going to talk about, in fact, we're going to be talking about a lot of things. A lot of things, right? So if you don't want us to be talking about you, then behave. If you misbehave, you'll be like, we'll be talking about you and we're going to learn from you actually. And we're going to be preaching it so that everyone can have a conversation. And at the end of the day, we love each other. We're not enemies. We are all one people. But tomorrow we're going to be talking about Auxilia Mnangagwa, really about what's going on around her and the leadership of President Mafume Mnangagwa as well. Quite interesting. I love you. God bless you. God bless Zimbabwe. Sleep tight. Tomorrow is another day. And bye for now. Oh my God, I know. But tomorrow I promise I'm going to play the song. Okay, but tonight we can't. We need to go to bed. It's almost 11:30, 20 past 11. So yeah, we need to go to bed. I love you. Bless y'all. Please don't be angry on behalf of politicians. Just be happy. Don't be angry. We are getting there little by little. Bye for now.